know who we are. You know who we are. We are QPR.
In the history of QPR, we've had some great goal scorers leading the line, but very few are better finishers than Gary Bannister, who enjoyed a fine career at Loftus Road in the mid-1980s. Now, Bannister began his career at Coventry City. He came through their youth ranks before making his first team debut in 1978. He wasn't that prolific for them though at first. He scored just 3 goals in his 3 years at Highfield Road before he moved to Sheffield Wednesday in 1981. It was at Wednesday where he made a name for himself. He scored 55 goals. He got 22 goals in his first season, winning Player of the Year, which won in caps at England under-21 level, before he helped Wednesday to win promotion to the top flight in 1984. Now that form made him a wanted man by other clubs, and after selling Clive Allen, QPR were in the market for a striker, and they signed Bannister on the 25th of July 1984. Now, replacing Allen was not going to be easy, but Bannister took to it like a duck to water. Rangers won 3-1 against West Brom on his debut, before Bannister got his first QPR goal in a 1-1 draw away at Watford. His first goal at Loftus Road came in his 3-0 win over Nottingham Forest, before he made his European debut in the UEFA Cup, away at Reykjavik, where he scored in another 3-0 win. In one of the best games I've ever been to, Bannister scored the first of 5 goals for QPR in an epic 5-5 draw, as Rangers come from 4-0 down to grab a last-minute point. He was starting to make a name for himself at Rangers, and in the League Cup at York, he scored this double in a 4-2 win, and he followed that up with a hat-trick in the second leg of the UEFA Cup against Reykjavik. It had been a brilliant start for Bannister, as he just couldn't stop scoring, with 14 goals in his first 15 games. His run in Europe continued to impress as we faced Partizan Belgrade at Highbury, where Rangers played their home games in Europe that season. It was a brilliant night, as Bannister scored another double in an incredible 6-2 win, including finishing off this excellent counter-attacking goal, showing his electric pace and his ruthless finishing ability. Now, Bannister was a unique player, and he had one leg slightly longer than the other, which never really impacted his game. But I remember hearing that as a kid and wondered how I could make my right leg longer than my left so that I could be like Gary Bannister. Safe to say it didn't work out for me. Although Bannister was having a great start to the season, the team was struggling under new manager Alan Mullery, and after being knocked out of Europe in humiliating fashion, Mullery was sacked and Frank Sibley took charge. Now, after finishing 5th the season before, there was a real fear of relegation, but the goals from Bannister remained a consistent factor that season and ensured Rangers stayed up. He scored this great double in a draw with Tottenham at Loftus Road, and he ended the season with 28 goals in 55 appearances, which was the second highest number of goals scored by a QPR player in a single season since the 1966-67 season. His 6 goals in Europe puts him 3rd in our all-time list for goal scorers in Europe, just behind Don Givens and the great Stan Bowles. When Jim Smith arrived as manager in the summer of 1985, hopes were high for a better season for the club, and they certainly delivered. Bannister started the season well, forming an exciting partnership with John Byrne, as he scored 5 goals in the first 7 games of the season, including a double against league champions Everton in a 3-0 win. The highlight of that season, though, was in the Cup, as Rangers went on to something called a Cup run, as Rangers got all the way to the League Cup final, beating a strong Nottingham Forest side, followed by wins over Chelsea and a shock semi-final win at Liverpool. Now, that season also saw possibly the highlight of his career at QPR, as we faced Chelsea at home on Easter Monday 1986. The team, and Bannister in particular, ran absolute riot, thrashing our West London neighbours 6-0. After starting a passing move, we cut through the Chelsea defence and Bannister shot across the keeper into the bottom corner to open the scoring. He made it 2-0 with this header from close range after good work by John Byrne. And the hat-trick followed in the second half after he ran onto a header and found the bottom corner with the QPR fans going wild. A day that is still talked about now, and puts Bannister up there with the great goal scorers at this club. That hat-trick came in a run where he scored 5 goals in 4 games leading into the cup final against Oxford. So it remains a mystery to this day how that incredible form from not just Bannister but the whole team resulted in such a disastrous defeat at Wembley, where Bannister and co could not finish the job off and bring home that trophy. He finished the season with 18 goals but fell just short of winning us the first major trophy since 1967. Bannister remains our top goal scorer though, and scored 16 goals the following season, in a period where he was really unlucky not to be capped by England. His final season at QPR was another impressive one. We started it on fire, winning 9 of the first 11 matches with Bannister scoring 7 times as we sat top of the First Division. That included another hat-trick against Chelsea, which made it 8 goals in 9 games against them. Only Dave Magnall scored more goals against Chelsea for QPR. After a brilliant start, Rangers' title challenge fell away a bit, but we still finished 5th that season. Bannister scored 10 goals before he left the club in March to rejoin Coventry. His final goal for Rangers came in this 3-1 win in the FA Cup against West Ham. I remember hearing the news and being utterly heartbroken that he had left us. It was the end of an era. He went on to play at Coventry, West Brom and Nottingham Forest, but never really hit the heights again of his time at QPR. Over his Rangers career, he scored 72 goals in 172 appearances, putting him 17th in our all-time top goalscorer list. He got 56 goals in the league and 16 in the cup, whilst he only scored 1 penalty during his time at Rangers. 49 of his goals came at Loftus Road, as he seemed an expert at judging the bounce on the old plastic pitch, and he used it to his advantage, although he still managed an impressive 23 goals on the road for Rangers. He scored twice on 9 occasions and got 4 hat-tricks. Not sure I mentioned this, but 2 of them were against Chelsea. In the 40 years since Bannister scored 28 goals in his first season at Rangers, no QPR player has scored more goals than that in a single season, including the likes of Les Ferdinand, Charlie Austin and Kevin Gallen. He was a prolific goalscorer for QPR and one of the finest forwards to ever pull on the blue and white hoops. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give us a like and subscribe to the channel.